Smart24, driving business.
Awesome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FATTALKS, and we're live on Smart24 TV and also on X. And as is the tradition, my name is Brian Kambaho, and I am an FLI fellow, so that is Fidelis Leadership Institute, and I also happen to be an associate partner at Acadia Advocates. Today we get to talk about money. Now, you know that this happens every Thursday. We are here to just share, to bring you the experts in the field, to bring you an experience, to hear your opinions, but also to interact and get to enjoy ourselves. Today the topic will be mastering money management, adulting 101. Now, we all know that as you get to be an adult, you get to interact with money. You spend more, you earn less, and then you keep spending a lot more until you have nothing more to spend, but you have to keep earning. Our guest today is none other than Marjorine Nantambi, and Marjorie is an expert that is very passionate about money.
Oh, yes.
And I could say so much about her. We seem to have a history from before we've met. I happen to know as part of her family, but she also comes highly recommended as a coach that is passionate about money, and I'll let her just tell us more about herself. So Marjorie, tell us, who is Marjorie?
All right, thank you so much, Brian, for having me today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Who is Marjorine? Now, Marjorine, I would say, is, first of all, I'm a mom of 2 beautiful children, a wife. I am passionate about personal development. That is Marjorine. If you say, who is Marjorine? This is someone who is really, really passionate about growth, about development, not only for myself, but for very many other people out there. And I am also a personal growth and finance coach. I am passionate about money as well. Like, who doesn't want money? So I love money. I love making the money. I love helping other people make the money, enjoy the money, save the money, grow the money. So that is who I am. I'm also a corporate consultant, the CEO and team lead of Unravel Coaching and Consultancy. We do capacity buildings, team buildings, and all of that. And I'm also a child of God, and I love to have fun.
Wow.
That is me.
Fantastic. Yes. She is a child of God, and she loves to have fun.
Oh, yes.
You know, the Bible tells us that he owns a cattle on 1,000 hills, and all the silver and gold is his. And while we work as unto him and not necessarily as unto man. So Marjorie, I want to ask more about your journey.
Yes.
So you say that you are a coach and you're passionate about finance and personal growth. Where did this begin? How long have you done it? What does it entail to be someone that teaches others about money?
Okay, so my money journey started way back in school. You know those people who used to have wooden boxes at school, those saving boxes? I was one of those that had my saving box. So I think I wasn't intentional then, but at least I had started on the journey because I had always loved making the money, keeping the money to get the nice things. Then it wasn't about investment or anything like that. It was just save the money, Chiromo, you break that box, eat the money, and you are like the celebrity of the night. So that is how I started my relationship with money back then. And then as years folded, we went to campus. Even during campus, I was always looking for opportunities to work, start businesses here and there. I remember I was sleeping in hall. I was in Chambogo University. And you know how when you're in hall, people don't like the posho and the beans that we always eat. So I saw that as an opportunity. So I started making chips while at school, selling it to the students, and I started making money then. So while I was getting that money, I still had my wooden box. So I would keep dropping, saving a bit of that cash, but of course without a goal. Save the money, end of semester, break it, eat it, go out, buy some nice things, and that's it, and then start again in the new semester. So that's how the journey started. But eventually, I got intentional with money. The time I got really, really intentional with my finances is after I had actually quit my corporate work. I looked back and I asked myself, Marjorine, you've been working for this time and you have nothing to show for it, and yet you've been actually earning the salary. So that is when it hit me, oh my goodness, where has my money been going? That was like the wake-up call. I'm like, what happened to my money? where did this money go? So that is when I started getting intentional on this journey. I started that journey, first of all, to help myself, and eventually I started helping other people. So it wasn't that, oh, I need to help people, let me find out about this and then teach others. No, it was first of all to help me to save myself, because I looked at the money that I was making then, and then I looked at what I had, and they did not actually make sense. So I started getting intentional, tracking my money, finding out where has this money gone, being intentional with the money, that if I get this, where am I saving it? How am I growing it? What do I want to achieve? So that is how I started on the journey.
I know, and it's interesting, Marjorine, that you mentioned that part of the corporate world,
yes,
you're chasing the money.
Yes.
It's part of, someone calls it the rat race.
Oh, yes.
You're chasing the dollar, and at the end of the day, you said, and I quote, there was nothing to show.
Nothing to show.
Now, I wanted you to speak a little bit about that, because remember, today we're trying to speak to the people in their 20s, but even those like myself that are out of our 20s, how do you get out of the rat race? But more importantly, how do you get that wake-up call to actually start to make sure that your money will be kept somewhere, or you will have something to show?
True. So I think one thing that can help us to get started on this journey is having a goal. You know, sometimes you just wake up, go to work, get that money, wait for the month to end, get that salary, and then work again, wait for the salary. Like, we are just up, go to work, come back home, go to work, because you know that every end of month I'm going to get this money. And that is why some people end up spending the money before it even arrives, because you're assured that either 25th or 29th or 30th I'm getting this paycheck. So the first step to help us get out of that is having a goal. That what do you want to achieve? Because the moment you ask yourself that question, already you have started getting intentional with your finances. You have started asking yourself the hard questions. Have you ever had a conversation of maybe someone building a home, and they said that, this person, every money they see a bag of cement. Why? They have a goal. So the moment you start asking yourself, okay, this is 2024, we have like 4 months left. What do I want to achieve before the year ends? Already you have started on the journey of being intentional with your finances. Because if you don't ask, then you'll be like, okay, if I make money, that's okay. If I don't, that's okay. So if you want to get started on the journey, first find out, what is it that I want to achieve? And usually that goal is a financial goal, because most of the goals are actually financial goals. That if you want to either go for maybe a degree or a master's, you require money. If you want to buy a property, that is money. If you want to financial capital, as we call it, though it's not the only capital that we have. But the moment you ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? You have already started on the money journey. So even if you are a salary earner, for example, you're into the corporate space, you get your money every end of month, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? Because if you don't, that is how you'll end up getting your paycheck at the end of the month, and then you just keep paying bills, paying bills, paying bills. So if you have a goal, that is how you get started on the saving, the percentages that we talk about, and things like that. So a goal is usually a beautiful place to start. I have a book that I love. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, one of the habits they recommend is begin with the end in mind.
Nice.
Begin with the end in mind. That even as you are doing your work, you're at your workplace, ask yourself, 5 years from now, what do I want to have achieved? Or maybe I'm at this workplace for 2 years. What do I want to achieve from this? But if you do not have that end in mind, if you do not have that dream or that vision or whatever it is that you want to achieve, then that is how you'll stay in the rat race, doing just the daily things. Yeah, so that will help.
Wow. 7 habits of highly effective people. Now, I know that part of growth is reading.
Oh, yes.
And part of the many speakers that we've brought on this program usually share with us the books to take home and share lessons. And Marjorine here has just told us to go look for that book. Straight out of campus, straight in their first job. Some of you, your first jobs were before you were at campus. Did you have a goal? Or the goal was just to make money? Now, Marjorine, I want to tie having a goal and adulting, because you know we're talking about adulting 101.
Yes.
Mastering money management in your 20s.
Yes.
Now, I've been married almost 4 years, making 4 years in December, and I'll tell you that the goals that we had at the start of our marriage and the goals that we have now, they keep evolving.
Oh, yes.
And that's part of adulting.
Yes.
Now, I want to know, what would you advise a 20-year-old that is taking on responsibility for the first time, that is earning income for the first time, that probably has no clue that adulting is about to adult?
Yes.
How do you advise them to prepare for that season, to avoid certain mistakes in their early years? So what would you say are these common mistakes for people in their 20s, in their first stage of employment?
True. Usually when we're just starting out in our journey of work or maybe career, we are excited, and that is normal. So if you are watching this and you're excited, maybe you got your new job or you got your first salary, it is okay. It is okay to feel the excitement. It is okay to enjoy it. But also, it is important to ask yourself that, yes, definitely, I thank God I have this opportunity. But then the thing is not you having that opportunity now. You need to look at the sustainability of that opportunity, because we know with jobs come and go, but what happens? So you having already those thoughts in mind helps you prepare even better. That it's okay to enjoy your money. I tell people a lot that even when you're setting goals, have a bit of money aside for you, for your entertainment, to go hang with friends or take a trip, whatever it is that you want, depending on your goal and depending on the age and the things that you want to do. But we should also be mindful that even as we do this, you have put some money aside, either in your savings. You have what we call the emergency fund, and I think we shall talk a bit about it as well as we go. But you put aside some money in the emergency fund, a bit of money in the investment, even in your 20s. I tell people, do not wait to get to 50 and start investing. Do not wait, no, I'll do those things when I'm 30, when I'm 40. No, the best time to start is in our 20s, because when we talk about money, money has a principle, or we have a principle that we call compounding interest when it comes to money. The best time for you to start on this journey of saving, of investment, is actually in your 20s. If you're watching this and you're in your 20s, you should be thanking God right now, because this information has come at the right time. Yes. I go to spaces sometimes and people tell me, oh my goodness, I wish I had known these things maybe 20 years ago or maybe 30 years ago. And to them, it's almost too late. But of course, they say it's never too late to start. But if you are listening to this conversation in your 20s or your early 30s, this is the best time to start. So start slowly. We are not saying, usually when we talk about finances, people think we are telling them to live a miserable life. No, you don't have to live a miserable life. You just have to be able to manage your finances, to apportion your finances. That yes, maybe I have a lot of responsibilities, maybe I'm now getting money, I'm taking care of my younger siblings, but am I putting some money aside for myself? Because they say the only money that is yours is the money that you have saved, not the money you have earned. Because the money you have earned is for your landlord, it's for the taxi people, it's for the fuel stations if you're driving, it's for all these other people apart from you. So the only money that is yours is the money that you have saved. And we're not saying save everything and starve, no. And that is why we recommend percentages. I tell people, look at your money in percentages. We have, when it comes to budgeting or apportioning your money, we have the 50-30-20 rule. That you can say, okay.
Just say that again.
50-30-20 rule. So you look at your money. Whenever you receive money, say 50% is for my needs. Those are the basic needs. That is, if it's rent or food or things like that. And I know that usually the 50% is not enough, which is okay. So you first apportion the 50%. The next 30% is for your wants. So if you feel that the 50% is not enough for the needs, then you can use a bit of the money in the 30%.
The wants?
Yes, the money from the wants to cover more of the needs. And then the 20% is that money for saving. But still, I tell people these rules or these percentages are not a do or die. Yes. And that is why we call it personal finance journey. Like, it is your journey. We are all at different levels when it comes to our finances. So I tell people, if these percentages are not working for you, you can twist them a little bit as long as you still have a percentage for saving. You can say, you know what, I still have a lot on my table, let me save maybe 5%. That's okay. It's better than not saving anything at all. So you can look at your finances and say, okay, maybe I'm still left place, I'm doing this, I need to buy the other. Let me save at least 5%, and then my goal is to save 10% by maybe the next month or by 2 months. And then say, okay, save 15%, I need to save 20%. So you can change the percentages depending, as long as you're putting some money aside for the savings.
Now, very, very interesting that you talk about savings, then you talk about budgeting, then earlier you spoke about the needs, the wants, and the savings.
Yes.
And again, I keep going back to the mind of a 20-year-old, a person who is fresh in employment or who is starting to earn.
Yes.
But the same principles apply even to the elders in the house, even those that are almost at retirement. I wanted you just to take you a little bit back. How does one develop the discipline of actually saving? At what point do you save? Because sometimes the needs or the wants may be so many that as soon as you get the money, you're not thinking about the saving. So is it a discipline that one has that as soon as you get, let's say, 100,000 and we take off 20%,
yes,
and we know that
the
is
balance is for the rest,
that is
yes,
20,000.
20%, yeah, 20,000.
Do I immediately first save the 20,000 and then deal with the rest, or I first deal with the rest and then eventually?
It. That's why people say, Marjorine, I have a savings account. Yes, you go to the savings account, you deposit your money, and then you go around the building, go to the ATM, and then remove the same money. So clearly. And then you say, I don't know where my money is going. I don't know who is stealing my money.
Yes.
I think my ancestors are chasing, no ancestor is chasing you, my friend. You are eating your money. So discipline is the hardest part when it comes to this journey of finances or any goal that you want to achieve. But also, we need to be intentional. Because if you're not, then you'll keep saving that money, but then you always find reason to spend it. Because guess what? The world will give you a reason. Now we have social media. You'll have a reason to spend your money, trust me. But you need to be intentional with your goals. And I tell people, the money that you are saving, do not just leave it on your bank account. Because then you'll be tempted to either swipe somewhere, to go and withdraw this money. So I tell people, put it in a place where it's going to bring you maybe a bit of income, but also accessing it is not as easy. Because we said when you are saving, you have money that you're saving for the emergency fund, that you can leave on the account. You say that's my money for any emergency, I'll withdraw. But then you also have the money you're saving to invest later. But even for the emergency fund, do not just leave it on the bank account. You can put it in simple places. Unit trusts. People in their 20s, I recommend them to usually start with a unit trust. Why? Because it's the easiest thing to start with. You put your money on a unit trust. It is making interest every single day.
Well, you see, the presumption is you think everyone knows a unit trust.
Okay.
So let's break it down. Let's assume
Okay.
that we do not know what a
Apologies.
unit trust is.
Yes.
And what are the benefits?
Oh, yes.
And why would you recommend it as a first step of saving?
Okay. So people usually ask me, Marjo, I have this kind of money. I don't know what to do. Where should I start? Now, if you're looking to get started on this journey, the first place we usually start is the bank account, right? That you know what, I have a savings account, which is good. But I usually recommend that do not just leave your money on the bank account. Why? Because either you'll be tempted to spend it, or it's actually losing value because they charge monthly fees and all of that. But you can put it in a place where it is making you more money. It may not be a lot of money, but it is better than just sitting on your bank account. Now, there are very many ways you can invest your money, even as young people, because when we hear investment, we think, oh my God, I need to be wealthy to start investing. I think I need to put up a plaza or a building or buy land or build an apartment. No, investment is in very many different forms. That even as young people, there are spaces you can put your money and your money will grow. Now, we've talked about the unit trust. Now, a unit trust is just, you get your money, you usually call them the mutual funds. There are very many companies. There are insurance companies, but not all insurance companies have unit trust. So you can ask the insurance companies, either the ones that you're working with, that do you have a unit trust, or which company do you know has a unit trust? Or even the bank, you just go to your bank and tell them, I want to start a unit trust. What do you recommend? They can take you through this information. So a unit trust is where you put your money. Now that company or that insurance company that is holding the money on your behalf, they invest on your behalf. So they put your money in spaces where it earns more money. They could buy shares, they could invest in stocks, they could invest in all these different things,
Treasury
bills,
bonds.
yes, on your behalf. So your job is to put your money on a unit trust. It is invested on your behalf. So next time they call investors, please show up because you're an investor. So investing is not just about the big buildings, the land, the apartments, and all of those things. Simple things, because even a unit trust starts with as less as 100,000. But there are also other investment platforms that start with 10,000. So I just want to encourage young people to look for this information. Like, we are in an era of smartphones. We are always on our phones. So ask yourself, what am I learning on this phone? Because if you just Google, okay, I'm 20 years or I'm 25, where can I invest? What places can I invest? On your phone, they'll give you those options. Not even just YouTube. Now you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have all these places where you can get this information. So let us be people that love to learn. If you see a topic like this, tune in, never know. You can learn something. Because what has helped me on that journey is the different spaces that I got to get to listen to these things. Because these things are not taught in school.
I know.
That is why we need to be intentional. In school, they don't teach us how to handle our finances. Even when you do a master's, no one teaches you how to handle your finances. So we just need to be intentional to find out, okay, I hear about savings. What is this thing? I hear about investment. What do they mean? Just be eager to learn. If you see maybe an event, they're talking about money, go sit, listen. What are they talking about? That is how you keep getting better. That is how you get the information about the different spaces. You can either save or invest.
And you know, Marjorine, as you spoke, you reminded me of an experience that I had at campus. And I used to have a roommate, Godwin. And Godwin was so amazed, he still teases me about it to date, at the discipline that I had developed. So you mentioned how one of the principles and one of the books you've read is Profit Fast.
Yes.
But at that time I thought, if you're still a student or you've just earned, you don't even have profit.
Yes.
So to get to profit, you first of all need to track your expenses. So I said, how do I track my expenses? And I decided that I will keep the airtime tokens. Those days we used to scratch them.
Yes, I
So whenever
remember.
I would scratch, I would keep it, I would keep it, I would keep it. And at the end of the semester at campus, I had a whole lot of airtime cards. And then I was able to count and say, okay, I spent this much amount of money in a space of 3 months, 6 months worth of airtime. Then that then informs how I should budget for the airtime. Now, I wanted you to talk about the budgeting bit. You mentioned it briefly. I want us to take us a bit there because it's still a big problem, even for me today. And it is also written that when you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
True.
So how do we master this planning? What does the budgeting entail? How do you even create a budget?
Yes.
Must everyone have a budget? Can't I just spend my money and eat it?
Yes.
The way it comes.
Yes, there are many people who tell me, Marjo, this is my money, I need to enjoy it. And I say, yes, it's your money, but you need to get on that journey as well of mastering how to track it. So about tracking your finances, it was a huge struggle for me as well through school because I knew that, okay, maybe I'm making this money, the different businesses that I had started running at school and also during my work time after school. But then when I got intentional on this journey of finding out about finances, tracking your money, I started writing in my notebook, just a normal notebook.
Yes.
I would write every day that, okay, food, how much have I spent on food? This. Transport, border, how much was that? This. Okay, airtime. Just the simple things. And then while I got more on the journey of helping myself track these finances, I came up with a journal. I have a financial journal that helps people track their finances. So in that journal, it is broken down for you. That needs, if we say needs, what are the needs? Because sometimes we end up mixing the needs and the wants. So you find out, okay, what are the needs that I have? If it's rent, transport, food, all the basic needs, it is broken down for you. So you need to sit and ask yourself, okay, what are the basic needs? And we know the normal ones of housing, clothing, and all of that. So you list those down, and then you find out what are the wants. Maybe I need to go shopping, I need to go to a salon, I need to do this. That may not necessarily be a basic need, but it could be something that is a want, but is also important. So you find out what kind of either work or what kind of lifestyle am I living? Because different people have different lifestyles. So it's hard for you to see someone's budget and just copy and paste because you have either different incomes and different things. Or I'll stay up at night. I have there, okay, let me sleep.
Every day they open.
Yes.
And they
put your million.
Yes.
And it may, right?
So this is per what? The 10%
the
is
10% is per annum.
Per year.
It is per year,
Okay.
yes. So next time they're calculating the interest, it is not the interest on the million, it is the interest on the million and the 100,000. So that is what we call compounding interest. That even your interest is making you more money. So that is the principle of that.
Yeah, she's told us a bit of her money journey, a bit of personal growth, budgeting, planning, saving, taking a lot of intentionality in your...
Hello.
How are you?
Great, amazing.
Smart24 Driving Business.
I am a senior 4 candidate in the Bongi district, Itula sub-county, Dongo village. And I am in the bakery class, currently studying, pursuing the course of bakery in Lira City. But why have I come here is to add more value, to add more knowledge on the skills that I have. Because when I came here, the skills that I have got is on the best ingredients that I can use to actually make good products. But our great congratulations to the government of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He's really someone who is a mentor to everybody.
Pearl Magic Prime, DSTV channel 148, GoTV channel 303.
Smart24 Driving Business.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Fat Talks, and we're live on Smart24 TV and also on YouTube. And we are the Fat Talks, the Fidelis Leadership Institute, and it is
it's a group saving, and usually talk to investment clubs as well. Ask yourself, as a club, what is the vision for the club? Where do you see this club maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And usually when you have those conversations, it can guide what kind of investment you can have. There are clubs that want to live for maybe 100 years to pass on these things to even the children, to the members of the investment club. So you find that they usually think of very long-term investments. They're like, let's buy land, let us grow trees, put up forests, you know, that is very long-term. But now if you get someone, maybe a 20-year-old wants to invest, and then you tell them, okay, start planting a forest. Depending on what they need, maybe that may not make sense to them, because they're like, I need something that will give me money maybe in 2 years or something like that. So that is why the issue of the goal is very important in investment, because that will guide you so much on what kind of investment you're going to make. The other high risk investment that we usually do, which is also high profit, is the business. Usually people say, okay, let me start a business, because you know after some time you will be able to make the profit. And then some people say, but I don't have the capital, especially young people now in their 20s. They say, okay, I want to get into business, but maybe I don't have the money to start. But I tell people, you can look around and see what are the opportunities around me. I tell people it's not just about the money, what we call the capital. There is something we call social capital, which is very important. Actually, is sometimes more important than even the financial capital itself. That look around and ask yourself, what business do you want to start? And then find out who is running that business maybe successfully around you. Are you able to go and say, and this I even tell to people that have the money, that before you invest your money in this business, find someone who is running the business and the business is going on successfully. Ask and offer to volunteer. People hate to volunteer. People hate to hear that. They're like, what? Me volunteer? How? But if you want to run your business successfully, then you need to learn. And the best way to learn is learning on the job. That if you work somewhere or if you volunteer somewhere and find out, okay, how does this person handle the clients? Where do they get the suppliers from? And things like that, the basics of business. Some people think business is you opening the shop and you sit there. No. There are so many dynamics when it comes to business as well. So learning those few principles will help you actually achieve much more from business. Because some people say, me, I invested my money in a business, but I failed. The business closed. Either I got someone to manage it for me and it failed. Why? Because you've not learned the basics of the business. So whatever investment you want to take on, at least learn the basics. Even if it's a unit trust, do not just go tomorrow and say, oh, Marja said unit trust, let's do it. You just open. No. Find out at least a bit about it. What is it? Okay, what are the dynamics? Ask these questions about that specific investment. That if you want to go shares, don't say, oh, everyone is buying shares, let's go, let's do it. No. Understand the shares that you're getting. What is the interest? What are you earning either per month or per year? Just the few basics, at least, before you get into the investment. Some people say, oh, no, let's do real estate. It's the best investment platform you can ever go for. But then understand how real estate works. Because there are people that are doing real estate and they're making losses. Yet there are people doing real estate and they are making it big. So whatever investment you choose to go for, make sure you get as much information as possible before you get started.
You know, if I may chip in there, I was just reminded, someone gave an analogy and said, if you're going to do any business, then you should be able to explain it to your grandmother and they can understand it. So if you cannot explain it by whatever margin, then you probably shouldn't get into that business.
That is true. That is true.
If you ask me about unit trust, I could explain everything about it. Real estate, I want to learn more about it. When it comes to Bitcoin, maybe I may not be able to explain even if I know something substantial. But what I hear you saying, Marjorine, is mindset. Because people have different mindsets about investments, about planning, about money. How crucial is mindset when it comes to financial growth?
Yes. Mindset is the most important set of life that you can work on in any journey or in any goal that you want to achieve, because everything starts with the thoughts, with the mind. That if you look around, whatever we see around us, whether it's chairs, clothes, it started in someone's mind. Someone thought, okay, people need to dress up, let's make some clothes, let's make tables, let's make maybe a screen and things like that. So it's the same thing with your finances. The money also starts in the mind. There is a quote that says that if the money has not come to your mind, it cannot come to the pocket. If the money has not come to your mind, it cannot come to the pocket. So that is how important your mind is.
For someone, unless they are a thief.
Unless you are a thief.
Even the thief has come to the mind.
But
we shall not support stealing. No.
Definitely not. But why is that important? That the mindset that you have about money. And what forms our mindset? Usually, these are the beliefs that we either heard about money or we saw around us. That growing up, how did people handle money? If for you growing up, always you would ask for something and always the parents are like, we don't have money, we don't have money. Then somehow you already have the scarcity mindset. You know that, you know what, money comes and goes. That's already a mindset that is formed. So you need to find out what is the belief that I have about money and how can I change it for the better. So working on your mindset is very important. And one thing that can actually help us work on our mindset is the information that we learn about money, about wealth, the books that you read, about finances. I know people hate to read. A lot of people are like, I'm mid-major, I read books at school, I'm not doing it again. But I tell people, in this era, there are actually so many options. You have your smartphone, there are audio books for free that you can just get a book as you go to work. There's a book that I love, it's called the 5 a.m. Club. I run a 5 a.m. club. It's a personal growth space.
Oh, fantastic.
In that book, they talk about the traffic university. That while you're leaving home to go to work or you're leaving home to go to school, what are you listening to? That is the traffic university. And you know traffic is heavy here in Kampala. So imagine you can actually listen to a book just through traffic. So we need to get to a place where we start opening our mind by feeding it. Usually we are on social media most of the times. When you open your social media or your Facebook, what do you see? News feed. Why? You're feeding your mind. So you need to be careful. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Whenever you open your phone and open either Instagram, TikTok, ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Is it something that is going to help me grow? Is it something that is going to help me be a better person? And also, I do not discourage people from the entertainment. Yes, go laugh a bit, but then ask yourself, okay, I've enjoyed this, I've laughed a bit, but what have I learned? Follow the people that make you laugh, but also follow someone, or it could be an author or a speaker, whoever it is, that is going to give you maybe at least one tip. In a minute, it can actually change your life forever. So let us be open-minded, because the mindset, if you have not worked on your mindset, even when they give you maybe 100 million, you will waste it.
True.
because you've not learned how to handle that money. And I tell people, if you cannot manage the 100K, you cannot manage the 100 million. Some people say, for me, I'll start saving when I get 100 million. If you cannot save the 5K on the 100K, you cannot save when you get the 100 million, because already you have tuned your mind to being a spender. Because you have a spender and a saver, but also both extremes are not good. You need to find a balance, and that is why the tracking the money, the budgeting, those percentages help you a bit to find the balance. But everything starts with the mind. You opening up your mind and being someone who is willing to learn, to change the perspective that you have about money, to think that, okay, actually I can make money and invest. If you have a mindset that, oh, rich people are bad people, rich people are thieves, you cannot be wealthy, because you will think that, I don't want to have a lot of money, they'll call me a thief. There is a very powerful book about mindset and money. It's called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Powerful book. Now let me tell you, if you forget all the other books I've told you about, look for Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. That book will change your mindset about money, your mindset about wealth and life, and how you see the rich people. Because if you do not aspire to be either like the wealthy people or to achieve what they have, if you're always negative about what they have achieved, then you cannot achieve it. Why? Because you don't want to be associated to them. If you call them thieves, you're like, people will call me thieves, let me stay with my little money. So already you are limiting yourself. So the mindset is a very powerful thing when it comes to finances, and we need to continue opening it up, learning new things, being in environments of people that are better than you. That is how you learn. Because if, for example, you're in your 20s and you have the issues that you have in your 20s usually are the same. This one's problem is the same because you're all in the same age group. Either you're looking for rent, you're looking for this, like it is the same. So get some people that are better than you, that have gone ahead of you, that when you listen to their conversations, you're like, what? Okay, I thought I had the biggest problems. I even wanted to kill myself because I don't have rent. Someone has a bigger problem out there, or they're looking for even bigger sums of money. And also when it comes to mindset and money, we have what we call the financial blueprint. Like the money, how you handle the money, but also the amount of money you are used to. That if you are used to maybe having, for example, if you're in your 20s and maybe your first job is giving you either 500,000 or 1 million or 2 million, that is the money you're used to. So you need to get to a place where you break into the next level of finances. That is the mindset. Because if you're used to 1 million and maybe someone gives you 10 million, before you know it, you'll spend. So the mindset, the beauty about mindset, it's something that we can actually work on through the books we read, through the places we go to, the events we attend, the people we associate with, and things like that.
Well, I know you mentioned that we should read The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, and I just thought I am right here seated next to a millionaire mind, right?
Yes.
So those that are watching, those that are listening, those that are following on YouTube, this show is committed to bring you millionaire minds.
Oh, yes.
So
thank you.
part of tuning in is you getting acquainted to some of these habits and these disciplines. Thank you. That was quite encouraging on how to tune that mindset. Yes. And maybe I would add that if you're feeling low and you're really devastated on where the money is going to come from, think it, because as she said earlier, if you can bring the money to the mind, then it will definitely come to the pockets.
True.
And that also goes to people that are charged with business development. For example, at the law firm, I'm charged with business development of the firm. So if I have to go and look for business for the firm, I need to think it, to see it, and then go out there and bring
visualize it.
But if I cannot see it, if I cannot look at Marjorine here as a potential client, then I probably won't even think of pitching
money
to her
keeps passing by.
a business investment.
And
then I wanted you to go a bit practical here, Marjo. This is a young 20-year-old that is looking to start a business, or they have a business, and maybe they want to partner with a potential someone that has done it well, or someone that they have admired. How would you encourage them to approach it, or to get out of that bubble of small-minded fellow age bracket and get to the next level? How would they practically approach such a person?
So usually we talk a lot about social capital and also networking. But I think we have sort of misunderstood the networking bit. People think networking is exchanging business cards. No, it's not. That, okay, I'll go to this event, I'm going to print business cards and go and give people business cards. That is not networking. So if you need someone, or if you've been seeing someone who you think you admire, who you think either you need them as a mentor or a partner in your business, they may not definitely come as a partner in your business, but they can offer guidance. So I tell young people, make sure that you find ways of getting into their spaces. The people that are going to help you get to the next level are very busy people. So you need to find ways of getting into their spaces. Don't be the people who get a phone, maybe a phone number of someone, then you call them, if they don't pick, and now you're starting to feel like, hey, this person made it, now they don't care about us. No, they're actually very genuinely busy, very genuinely busy people.
They're not seated waiting for your phone call.
I know, right?
They're probably chasing money as well.
Yes. They're genuinely busy people. So on this journey, we need to be, first of all, very patient on this journey, and also find out, how do I get into these spaces? And for you to get into those spaces where the people that are going to help you are, you need to add value to yourself as a young person. You need to add value to yourself, that when you get to this space, you actually have something to say. Because that is how then people will pay attention to what you're doing, and that is how they'll actually start helping you. But if you do not have anything to say, you are just there, you ask for an opportunity to meet either someone you want to mentor you, and then you get there, you're talking about the weather, you're talking about, add value to yourself, and also know specifically what you want. It may not be so clear, but at least have an idea that this is what I want to do. Do a bit of research. You have that smartphone. Do a bit of research such that when you have that opportunity to meet that person, you are asking the right questions. Do not just go and say, okay, I'm here, I don't know what to do, you tell me. No. So make sure you have an idea of what you want to do, such that when you're able to meet them, you're asking for the guidance. Do not go asking for the money. Usually that's where we get it wrong.
Yes.
You meet a wealthy person, and before you're asking for the money. They're not going to give you the money. I know. There are so many problems to take care of. So if you have that mindset of this wealthy person, or this, I want them on board to give me money, either to come on as a partner, to bring money into the business, then that's a wrong mindset to start with. But if you are looking for someone who is going to guide you, who is going to either give you the things that you need to run that specific business, then it's way better than you going off looking for the money, because they'll help you set up your business, and that business can actually attract either funding or whatever it is. But even if it does not attract the funding, they have taught you at least the basics of business, and you're able to get clients. So if you're looking to partner, do not necessarily go to get someone who is going to bring in the money. First, look for that mentorship. Like, what are the business tips that I need to run the business? People talk about business systems, and those differ depending on which business and what level it is. So find out at least a bit about that customer service. What is, how do we handle suppliers? Where are we going to get the things from? How are we going to market them? How are we going to brand this thing? And there are so many things when it comes to business, but also do not complicate it. Don't say, it's a lot, let me just leave it. I think business is not for me. Who told you? I know it's not for everyone, but why is it you who is choosing that business is not for you? So this, I believe that business is also something that can be taught, that you can learn if you are willing to be teachable on this journey. So when you meet a mentor, you don't go looking for the money, but go and ask for the tips, the things that can help you grow this business. Before you know it, you'll not actually need that money. You'll make it.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. That's quite thorough on how to approach the mentor. But I feel I wanted you to also speak into, how do I find these mentors? Where are they? Yes, you've mentioned that in certain circles I need to get out of my circle and move into a higher circle. What are these higher circles? How do I identify an actual mentor? Even on social media, if I'm getting onto online, how can I best use my internet or my online presence to attract the attention of a potential mentor?
So the easiest thing to do to get into the space of the mentors that we are talking about is usually when you're on your social media or TV or whatever it is that you use to get to see them, then you can find out where are they going to be. Because usually they post, I'm speaking at this event, I'm doing this. Then also as young people, still to get into those spaces, we need to be willing to invest in ourselves. the best investment you can ever do, even before going to real estate and all those other investments, the best investment you can ever do is in yourself. Be willing to invest in yourself. That if you see your mentor is maybe going to be at Serena, is going to talk maybe at a women event or at a youth event, if the event is 50K, get it, pay it, and be in the room. That is the best way to get into these spaces, because they're not going to find you where you are in your small room. No, you need to be willing to get out here and find them. And most times you'll find that these spaces are actually paid for spaces, and you must be willing to actually take that step. Because guess what? Yes, you could be a young person, but you spend money every day. You buy either data, you go to salon, you buy a few clothes here and there. So you must be willing to plan that. You say, okay, maybe I'm not able to go to this event. It could be 100,000, but where else are they speaking? Maybe they're speaking at this place, and maybe it's 20,000 or 50,000. Be able to pay that money and get into that space. That is the easiest way to get into the faces of the people that you actually look up to, or the people that you want to mentor. Because when they find you in a space like that, it's also easy for them to actually trust you and walk the journey with you, because they'll know, oh, this person actually loves personal development. The fact that they're paid to come for this event. So already you're starting out on a good note. So we need to be willing as young people to get into those spaces. Yes, some spaces may be paid for, but you need to be able to invest in ourselves.
So are you also a mentor? Is this something
Yes.
that you do professionally?
Yes.
Is it something that you do passionately?
Yes.
Do you mentor anyone? Can you mentor those that are starting out, those that are in the business, those
True.
that are in different professions?
Yes.
What does that look like for you? What's your mentorship journey? But also,
So-
do you have a mentor?
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. Tell
you
us
cannot
about
be
that.
a mentor and you don't have a mentor. I always tell people, even a coach has a coach. Even a coach needs a coach.
Yes.
So I have mentors that are actually close, that keep me accountable on this journey here in Uganda as well. So I mentor people in different spaces. Like I mentioned, I have the 5 a.m. club where I mentor people on a daily. Every morning at 5, we are sharing, we are learning, we are keeping ourselves accountable. But I also have different platforms. I mentor people in the finance space. That is, we have a personal finance mastermind. One is coming up. We finished cohort 1. So all these are mentoring spaces that we have. We have a platform for mentoring young girls. That's also another platform. We have the She Rise platform where we get women and help, like, hold your hand to rise, depending, it could be on the corporate, it could be in business, whatever the issue is, we hold your hand and work together. So yes, we do the mentorships, and I have mentors as well.
So how does one approach you for mentorship, and can any male, female, anyone reach out to you, and how
Yes.
would they do that?
Yes, we do both the ladies and the gentlemen, depending on the issue that you have. Anything, personal development, growth, career development, confidence, public speaking, whatever it is that you want to be mentored in, we actually do that. And the beauty is we have a network of mentors that we work with, that if your issue is maybe in an area that I'm not maybe an expert in, I can handle you to a mentor who is an expert in that field. So usually people reach out through my social media. I'm on all platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, all the platforms. But then other people come through the events. We usually have so many events, finance events. We have the She Rise events. We have the vision board events where we come together and set goals. So it depends on what the need is. But yes, I am available. The team is available
So
to hold your hand.
You keep saying we. Who is
Yes.
the we?
I mentioned I run, it's a company,
Yes.
Unravel Coaching and Consultancy Firm.
Unravel
Yes.
Coaching and Consultancy.
Yes. So we have different coaches, we have different mentors in the company. So depending on the need, you have a specific person to handle. But I also handle people myself as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Marjorine. Now, as we prepare to bring this to a close in the next 5 minutes or so, could you just take us through what are the key resources or tools that people could use to manage their finances? I know you've mentioned a financial journal that I think that you do, but also I know there are financial applications that are out there. I've also happened to use one. What could people use to start off their financial journey? Those that have some knowledge, those that have no knowledge at all, those that just want to grow.
Yes. So I usually tell people, even before buying the financial journal, yes, you can buy it because it's structured, but also having a simple notebook or having your phone, like you're always with your phone, at least most of the time. So you can just start there by tracking, okay, today it's coming to maybe 5:30, what have I spent so far? That we should not complicate this journey, that you should make it as easy as possible. So even if we recommend the apps here, you may download the app, but you may never use it. So that's the discipline that we talked about. How does the discipline grow? Start with the simple, basic things. Not in your phone, have a notebook, start there. If you can get a financial journal, that's okay. But if you cannot, start with your notebook, get an accountability partner. Because if you get someone else that you report to, you know, my goal is this, I want to maybe reduce my spending here, or maybe I give out money a lot. There are people and their problem is giving out money. They're like, Marjo, me, I make a lot of money, but I'm always giving out money. So you can tell your accountability partner, you know what? I think I need to manage my money better. I don't want to just spend money like that. So they keep you in a loop. They ask you, so how much did you give out today? You're like, okay, today I didn't give out. You're like, good. So you get on that journey with that person. Find someone that you can trust. If you feel like there is no one around you, then you can join our spaces, either the Personal Finance Mastermind that is starting in September, that is cohort 2, or you join the 5 a.m. club, or join any space that you feel will help keep you accountable to implement the things that you want to implement. Because when you talk about finances, you already know these things. You already know about saving, you know about investment, you know you need to be frugal a bit with your money. And when we talk about being frugal, it doesn't mean being stingy. There are two different things. Yes. Frugal, someone has actually planned their money. They actually give out money, but it's planned, it's budgeted. You know, we're in season of weddings and everything. We're at one of the meetings, and people are like, can you imagine so-and-so gave us only this money? I'm like, do not plan based on other people's pockets. You have no idea.
The black tax
yes,
is very real.
It is real. And I know you have so many people that maybe are depending on you, but also as young people, stop being entitled. Either your elder siblings or uncles that you feel, okay, whenever I ask for money, they'll give me the money. No, they've planned their money. So the literal, all the few resources that you have, start planning those as well. You know that black tax is out there, it is real, but plan your giving. Tell your people that, you know what, this is my budget for giving. If it runs out, that's it. And also do not lend people money unless you're a money lender. There are people that say, oh, I had this friend, they took my money, now they no longer pick my calls. I tell people, give people money that you're okay to lose.
Yes.
That if my friend has come, oh, Marjo, I'm stuck here, I can give them money that I'm okay to lose. But if someone says, oh, Marjo, please, I need 5 million, I'll give you by Monday. I'm not a bank, please. I'm not a money lender. If I have like 100K, I'll give it to you. I don't expect that back. Like, you know what? I hope that can either get you some data or transport to go to the bank or whatever it is. And this does not mean that person is stingy. No, but this person has actually planned their money. So do not fall victim of people that either lend out money or even get loans on behalf of people. Do not. Even the believers, it's in the Bible, that if you go there, you're the guarantor, you are the person going to pay the money. So talking about finances or managing your money is huge. It's broad. You can talk about the debt management and all of that, but start on the journey.
Wow.
Yes,
Thank you very much. And I know you're going to wrap this up for us very nicely, but my take home here is accountability.
Yes.
Please, the sooner you find accountability, the better. The sooner you have someone that you trust to share your actual money troubles or money needs or money ambitions, the better. Because if an idea shared or a problem shared is half solved, so the sooner you have someone to share it with, the better. And Marjorie here has a team that they are willing to share it with. But we're also here available to listen in. So do comment, do share your thoughts. Marjorine, I wanted to wrap this up.
Yes.
And just to take us back to the topic of the day. And the topic of the day was to do with mastering money management in your 20s. Now, we've spoken several things: budgeting, accounting, mindset, mentorship, planning, reading the books, the principles that you've shared, the tools, the journaling, the accountability. What, in your final words, would you say is the ideal way to start managing your finances? What are the baby steps? If I have been terrible at managing my finances, if I have been having loan after loan, giving out money, pledging at weddings and never fulfilling.
Yes.
How can I start to now plan my money better? If I want to move from one segment of earning to another, how do I have that goal and follow it through?
Yes.
Could you wrap this up for us? For me, that could be in my 20s and I want to manage my money better.
Okay, so for someone really starting out on this journey, there is a book called Straightforward Financial Growth by Moses Mukisa, is the apostle of Worship Harvest. And he breaks down the percentages even better for someone who is starting out. So if you're a believer, definitely he has a 10% for tithe, the 20% for saving. But also what I love about what he recommends, he has a percentage for giving to people. So that should also not be a problem. You can plan that. But the best way to start after all the things we've talked about is using percentages. That is the best way to start. Because guess what? Money will never be enough. And the needs are not going anywhere. They just keep getting higher and higher. So when you look at your money in percentages, it's the best way to start, because whatever small the percentage is, you'll have a percentage to put aside as the money that you're saving. It could be 5%, you could start with 10% and say maybe by the end of the year, my goal is to get to 20%. But let me start with my 5%, that every money I get, 5%, save it immediately and then spend the rest. So when you get started on that journey, that will be one of the things that is actually going to help you get better in managing your finances.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marjorine, an expert at financial growth and personal finances management. Now, as we close this up, I want to remind us that we are Fat Talks. Now, Fat Talks means F is for faithful, A is available, and T is teachable. So be faithful with that money, be available to listen and share it with people in accountability, but also be teachable on what vices you have, what good practices you have, and share it with others. And let the cycle keep growing. Let us be better financial managers of our money from our 20s into retirement. And at the end of the day, we build Uganda.
And buy Uganda.
We buy Uganda and build
Uganda.
Uganda.
Yes.
Well, from Marjorine and I, it's been a pleasant evening, and from Smart24, it's good to have you. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Smart24, driving business.
Uganda fire! Endiba fire! Ababoda fire! Bannange mwebale okuwagira Uganda Queens nga nambonezebwa okugulawo emiryango gye. Mwebale kwambala langi zaffe n'emijoozi gyaffe mu ssanyu. Muyiwawo omubiri wadde tuwangudde ne bwe tuba tukubiddwa eddiba. Kati nno Uganda Queens nga yeetegekera okwambalagana ne South Africa gattako ne Congo mu Septemba ono, ate yo South Sudan yakwambalagana nayo mu October. Olwo baddiŋŋane ne South Africa ne Congo mu November. Ogwamu eki kuleeta fire. Anti awali obuwagizi bwammwe Uganda Queens tewali kigirema. Uganda fire! Bikutuusiddwako MTN, omuwagizi wa Uganda Queens namba emu. Nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema.
Topista. I'm from Terego district. I'm a mother of one child. I deal in salon business, and most of my customers are from the camp, refugee camp, and the host communities. The business has taken 3 years. I got to know about Grow when they were doing their launching in Arua, West Nile. I reached here and the training started so marvelous. The new things that I picked in the training, there are so many new skills that they taught us. They took us through different kinds of hairstyles, how to plant hair. Those days I used to plant it anyhowly, and styling was a problem to me. But this time I'm able to plant different kinds of hair styles and also making the designs. Coming to the equipment, Basically, I didn't even know more about this equipment, the hair dryers. I myself, I don't have it in my salon, but reaching here, I was able to see hair dryers in salon, and I was able to operate. Through my instructors, they trained us on how to start and to switch it off. I would like to thank the government, more especially the Ministry for Gender, Labor and Social Development, for giving us this support. The GROW project has actually helped us a lot, and we're here to benefit more.
GROW, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.